Welcome to Kauai Buddhist Council's Virtual Bodhi Day Service. My name is Patrick Watanabe, and I'll be the MCs for today's service, which commemorates Shakyamuni Buddha's attainment of awakening. We will begin by the ringing of the Kancho bell performed by Reverend Kaufman of the Lihui Honganji. Please, Gasho. We will now begin the offering of incense and flowers by temple representatives, beginning with Kapa Jodo Mission.
唱えたてまつる総極よKoyasanに一重の影の雨宿り雨宿り血がの流れくむ人も深き家に
Please gasho for Vandana and Tisarana, which will be led by Bishop Ishikawa of the Kapa and Koloa Jodo Mission and Reverend Majima of the Kapa Honganji Mission.
Buddhaṃ saranam vacāmi, Dhammam saranam vacāmi, Sangham saranam vacāmi. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dhamma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for
The aspiration will be given by Reverend Hojo of the West Kauai Honganji Mission.
Today, the Sangha of Kauai Buddhist Council has gathered to observe the Bodhi Day Service. May we pause a moment to pay homage to Shakyamuni Buddha. May we humbly express our deep appreciation to Shakyamuni Buddha, whose enlightenment took place on the morning of December 8, over 2,500 years ago in India. This event was coined after the fig tree, which Siddhartha Gautama meditated under, and later awoke to the true nature of life to become the Buddha Shakyamuni, the awakened one, the sage of the Shaka clan. The tree has since come to be named the Bodhi tree, or tree of awakening. We adorn the altar with offerings, burn incense, and chant sutras in praise and appreciation for the teachings handed down through the ages to us, so that we may more deeply sense our connection to the ultimate reality. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance.
The chanting of the Hanya Shingyo Hot Sutra will be led by Reverend Hirao of the Waimea Shingon Mission. Please, Gassho.
仏説マカハンニャハラミタ信行漢字財宝作業人ハンニャハラミタジ朝見語雲海空道一切空役者利子寄付意空空意識色即税空即税式、重創業式、薬部、尿税、舎利、死税、諸北、総、不詳、不滅、不空、不浄、不増、不減、平国中、無式、無住、創業式、無限に微絶心に、無式、証拠、未速報、無限界内し、無意識界、無無明薬、無無明人、内し、無老死、薬無老死人、無空臭滅道無知薬無徳意無小等公母大サッタエアンニャハラミタコシムケゲ無形下公無空不音理一切天道無相無行涅槃単税小仏へ般若波羅蜜多古徳阿のくたら三脈三宝大高知般若波羅蜜多税大人種税大名種税無上種税無東道種農場一切空真実不幸公説般若波羅蜜多種即世種圧ギャテギャテハラギャテハラソギャテボジソワカハンニャシンヨ
At this time, I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Bishop Clark Zenkyu Watanabe, who is the Bishop of Koyasan Shingon Mission of Hawaii and the resident minister of both Honomu'u Henjoji Mission and Pawilo Shingon Mission on Hawaii Island.
We honor to have the Bishop Clark Zenkyu Watanabe of Koyasan Shingon Mission of Hawaii as a guest speaker for today's Bodhi Day service. I would like to introduce you to our guest speaker, Bishop Clark Watanabe. He was born in Honolulu, Hawaii on April 10, 1969. He graduated May 1993 from the University of Hawaii, Manoa, with a BA in religion. Through a scholarship administered by UH Manoa History Department, he attended the Urasenke Gakuen Professional College of Chado Midorikai program from 1990 to 1991. He was ordained at the Koyasan Sambo-in Temple on December 10, 1994, and given the Buddhist name Zenkyu. Entered the Koyasan Senshu Gakuin Seminary in April 1995 and graduated in March 1996. From 1998, he was the assistant minister at the Koboji Shingon mission in Honolulu. On June 2nd, 2008, he was assigned as the resident minister of the Honomu Henjoji mission. In 2012, he was also assigned as the resident minister of the Hamakua Shingon Shukyodan Pauiro Kongoji mission. In April 2016, he became the 13th bishop of the Koyasan Shingon mission of Hawaii.
Hello and greetings to the members and friends of the Kauai Buddhist Council. Thank you for asking me to give the Dharma talk today for the Jodoe or Bodhi Day service for this year. My name is Reverend Clark Zenkyu Watanabe. I am the Bishop of the Koyasan Shingon Mission of Hawaii, and also I'm the head minister at the Honomu Henjoji Mission and the Pauilo Kongoji Mission on the Hamakua Coast on Hawaii Island. I hope and pray that all of you are doing well despite the pandemic. I believe that, especially in these trying times, we should turn to and depend on the Buddha Dharma to help us and others cope with the pandemic. While it is hard at times to cope with the pandemic, I believe these are very exciting times for the Buddha Dharma. The pandemic has forced all of us as Buddhists to think of other ways to continue to send out the message and teachings of Buddhism to the temple members, friends, and to the entire world. Before the pandemic, social media such as Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram were not really seen as vessels of delivering the Buddha Dharma. Now it has become a valuable tool along with the online meeting sites of delivering not only Sunday services, but online seminars, classes, temple meetings, memorial services, and even funerals. One of the teachings of Buddhism is that life is constantly changing. The teachings of the four sufferings of birth, growing old, sickness, and the ultimate change called death is a good example. Life itself is constantly going back and forth between comfort and discomfort, ease or dis-ease. All living beings like comfort and ease, but don't like and avoid discomfort and dis-ease. The pandemic has thrown the entire world from a carefree, comfortable lifestyle to one restricted and made uncomfortable by the fear of the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Last year, when Reverend Hirao asked me to speak at this year's Bodhi Day service, I quickly agreed, but I had one problem. I had to find somebody to represent the Koyasan Shingon Mission of Hawaii at the Bodhi Day service in Honolulu. If I could not find a replacement, I could not speak to you. But when the pandemic started, the problem of finding a representative quickly disappeared and was replaced by a fairly larger worry, the pandemic itself. Life is a constant cycle of problems. What is your view of Buddhism? Is it very difficult to understand? Is it practical? Does it meet the needs in our daily life? Something that I thought that may make it easier for everyone to easily understand and or to put into practice in our daily life is what I recently heard on a podcast. Reverend Issho Fujita, a Soto Zen priest, proposed a mathematical-like formula for suffering or mental discomfort. When I first heard it, I was taken aback by its simplicity. The formula is mental discomfort or suffering equals pain multiplied by resistance to not complaining. Of note, you may have noticed I don't like to use the word suffering, but prefer the word discomfort or uncomfort. At times, I also use the word dis-ease, not meaning illness, but something not in a state of ease. Another way I would say this formula could be discomfort, mental discomfort equals pain multiplied by monku, or grumbling. For some of us, monku or grumbling is a way of life. In Hawaii Japanese, a person who grumbles a lot is called mokutare. Mokutare literally means a person who is oozing of monku. According to this formula, if somebody stubs their toes, I am sure they'll feel physical pain. The more the person monkus, the more mental discomfort they will feel. The less monku, the less mental discomfort they will feel. The physical pain of stubbing the toe will always be felt, but by complaining about it, giving excuses, blaming others, a person will be reminded by and tormented by stubbing the toe long after the physical pain has left. Shakyamuni Buddha taught this quite eloquently in the parable of the second arrow. Shakyamuni Buddha asked a student, if a person is struck by an arrow, isn't it painful? If the same person is struck by an arrow, isn't it even more painful? He continued on, in life, we always can't control the first arrow. The second arrow is our reaction to the first arrow. The second is optional. What the Buddha taught over 2,500 years ago was true then and is true now, today. Reverend Fujita proposed another mathematical-like formula for happiness. The formula is happiness equals pleasure or satisfaction divided by attachment. A good example for this is the toilet paper shortage at the beginning of the pandemic. I presume at that time there was a fear of the shortage of toilet paper. Despite the assurances of that there was an ample supply of toilet paper, as you recall, as soon as the toilet paper was stocked on the shelves, it was quickly snapped up and it was gone in seconds. If we look at the formula for happiness, we will see that if you divide whatever satisfaction by buying even one pack of toilet paper by the attachment of the fear of not having toilet paper, the result is very little happiness. This is quite evident by the many videos uploaded on social media of people fighting for and snatching away toilet paper and also getting into physical fights. Of course, the above two formulas cannot solve all our problems, but I believe it can help sort out what problems we can change and what we cannot change. Another point is that the two formulas, as my teacher would often say, they are very easy to say and remember, but very difficult to put into practice. To put the two formulas into practice, we need to be aware and mindful of our own minds and bodies. Putting something into practice in the beginning is always difficult. It is like wearing the mask at the beginning of the pandemic. Wearing the mask in the beginning, it was very difficult because sometimes we would forget, or even we were not used to wearing the mask, so it seems as though we were suffering or suffocating. But many months into the pandemic, wearing masks has become part of our life. In conclusion, I hope my talk today will add to your understanding of Buddhism. And in addition, that I hope that all of you try to put these formulas into practice into your daily life. In ending, I would like to pray for your safety and your good health during this pandemic. And also, I hope to meet you physically in the future. Thank you for having me today. Arigatou gozaimashita.
Thank you very much, Bishop Watanabe, for your Dharma message and joining us for this Bodhi Day service. The benediction will be given by Higashi Honganji.
It is said nirvana, nirvana. Now, what is nirvana? Whatever is the extinction of passion and aversion and confusion, this is nirvana. Is there a way for the realization of this nirvana? There is. It is the Eightfold Path, which itself is for the realization of nirvana.
This concludes the Bodhi Day services. Thank you, Bishop Watanabe, for your Dharma message and the participation by all the ministers and each one of you. Please continue to remain safe during this pandemic.